I'll tell you this. I think it's something we all have to work at one of our money skills. There's really 3 basic money skills that you have. Spending properly, reasonably. Learning to enjoy money falls under spending. Learning to enjoy life with your money, which is kind of what your question's about. The second one's saving. You got to learn to save money for emergencies, for college, for retirement, to change your family tree, to build wealth. You got to learn to invest. You got to learn to ride the investment waves like we've had in the stock market in the last couple of weeks. Right? And giving. The power of generosity to completely change you when you learn to give as the natural rhythm of your life.
10 apples. So here I have 10 apples. I think these are Honey Crisp apples. So these are really good ones here. So 10 apples. And the responsibility is to choose the first, which again is the finest. So you choose the best of the 10. All right? So this is the best. And this will be my table. And then that's the Lord's table. So I choose the best of the 10 and I give the best to the Lord. He has one, and then the other 9 are for myself. And then imagine if I had some oranges. So let's say I have 10 oranges. Okay. My responsibility is to bring the first fruits of all that I have, and I'm going to choose the best of the oranges. This one looks like the best, and I'm going to give this one to God, and I'm going to keep the others for myself. And the same thing with the pears. Say I have 10 of them, and I am going to choose the best one, and that one doesn't look that good, okay? This one is a good one. I'm going to take the best, the first fruit, and I'm going to give that to God. Now, maybe apples and oranges and pears aren't your thing. So God gives us the opportunity to bring the first fruit of all that we have. So maybe you like cuties. Maybe you like cuties. And I'm going to get the first fruit. I'm not that big of a fan of cuties, so I'll tell you what I'm going to give God 2 of these. And then the rest all belongs to me. Or maybe you have strawberries, and we're going to give God the best. Yeah, that's the best. Give God the best, and then we get to keep the rest to ourselves. Or maybe we have, these are fuzzy fruit kiwis. So we will give God the best of the kiwis, or the kiwi, and we will keep the rest to ourselves. Yep, and then we have grapes. He says when you give all, then your wine vats will be overflowing. Yeah, we're going to give all of these to God. And let's see. And then I think these are the Granny apples. These are the good ones here. So Granny Smith will give the best one to God, and then we get to keep the rest to ourselves. Let's see what else we may have. We also have, we have melons. So I'll give the best to God, and then, come on up here, we'll give the best to God, and then we'll keep the rest to ourselves. That's good. And then, let's see what else I might have is we bring all of the first fruits of everything that we have, the first of our increase. We have tomatoes. So tomatoes are fruit, right? Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure about that. We will open this up and give God the best, which is the first fruit, and we will keep the rest to ourselves. Everything is looking pretty good. And bananas. We will keep all of them except for one, and we will give this one to God, and we will keep the rest to ourselves. And pomegranate. We will keep all of them. I'm just examining to see which one is the best. This is the best. That one goes to God, and the rest of these are to ourselves. Do you see what I'm saying here? We get to keep all of these. Now, this is the principle of both sowing and receiving. We honor God with the first of all that we have been given, the first of our increase, the best that we have, and then He blesses us. He's choosing for me. These are lemons. Okay? This is a big one here. So we will keep all of these, and then we will give this one to God. And we have an opportunity now to say, this is a pretty good deal. It's a pretty good deal. I actually get to give God and honor God for what he has, and these are, what are these? Okay, so these are brown fruit. And avocados. These are avocados. Gonna give God the best avocados. Matter of fact, we give God a few avocados. And pumpkin. We're gonna give God pumpkin. So we'll give God the best of those, and then we'll keep the other 9 to ourselves. What a blessing this is that we get to keep all of this if we just honor God. That's what the 3rd proverb says. And it's not just that, but as we continue to sow and continue to reap, we understand that we can just continue to be bountifully blessed. We have lime. We give God 1, and we keep the other 9 to ourselves. I wonder if there are any melon or any pineapple. Well, we don't really have pineapple in the Middle East because that's not something that they would really grow out there. Oh, but we do have cantaloupe. Cantaloupe. Okay, so I'm going to keep the cantaloupe, 9 of them to myself. And I appreciate your help with all of this. And I'm going to give the best one, which is this one. We'll give this one to God. God's table. My table. Pretty good deal so far, right? Pineapple. We found some pineapple. This one is a little bigger here. We'll give this one to God. And then, my good friends, now I'm running out of room, but God did promise that if we honored him first, that we would have an overflow. He said that our vats would overflow with wine, and we'd have more than enough. He said that he would open up the windows of heaven and pour us out a blessing that we wouldn't even have room to receive. And this seems like I don't even have room to receive all of the things that God has blessed me with. And what a blessing it is to honor him with our, that's, my friend, that's the how. Yeah. And we have the opportunity to just have more increase. Watermelon. This is the best. And so do you get the point that we have the privilege of being able to honor God? And I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, well, that's a pretty good plan, and it seems like it's a good get-rich principle. And the reality is this is all God has asked us to do. We're not giving him anything, really. We're giving back to him. We're bringing him what he has already blessed us with. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. All of this really belongs to the Lord anyway. Now, if you think that it's all about what I can get, I'll just work this system, and it's all about what I can get. It's not just your treasure.
I think what we're talking about today is not the redistribution of wealth, but the creation of wealth. The color in the 60s was black and white. The color up until now has been red and blue. I think the new color is green. And I think it's always been green. Yeah. I think slavery was about money, about economics. Nobody's going halfway around the world to drag you here because they don't like you. In fact, the concept that we were dumb and stupid is ridiculous. We were agricultural geniuses.
Yes.
And what they needed was experts in the land. How do you take dead land and bring it back to life? How do you nurture it back to life? Well, we worked in that arid, that direct sunlight, and we brought that land back to life time and time again. And we were geniuses of the land in an agricultural economy.
Right.
And so we built this country really for free. And we couldn't create assets because we were assets. We were bought, sold, traded, insured, underwritten. In fact, the first millionaire in America in New York City financed the import and export of cotton. 57% of our economy in the 1850s was the whole GDP was cotton-based, slavery.
You're right.
Well, he was a financier for cotton. So indirectly, the first millionaire in America came because of us. Wealthiest city in the world in the 1840s was Natchez, Mississippi. In the world.
Wow.
Natchez,
I didn't know that.
In the world. Yeah. There's so many vignettes when you start getting the emotion out of this and you just start following the money and following the data.
Yeah.
You begin to understand that the only thing wrong with us is what we don't know that we don't know, but we think we know. And no one ever taught us, no one ever gave us the memo on free enterprise economics and opportunity, capitalism, finance. When the rules are published, the playing field is level. Faith,
Yeah.
public service, the arts, professional sports. We kill it. We don't just excel. We absolutely control the field.
Right.
We're excellent when we apply ourselves.
Yeah.
No one gave us this memo. And when they tried to at the Freedmen's Bank of 1865, charted to teach freed slaves about money, Lincoln was assassinated. He did that and he promised blacks the right to vote. Booth said, that'll be the last speech you give.
Wow.
That was 100 years before they killed Dr. King. Same month, April 1865. Killed Dr. King, April 1968.
How are you using the abilities that God has given you? Are you serving the needs of others for the cause of Christ? We usually can look at someone's bank account and we can determine where their treasure lies, where they're spending the best hours of the day. Matthew said, for where your treasure is, your heart will be also. And so there's a unique tie between your treasure and your heart.
Okay, so what do you think, Melody, that most parents get wrong when it comes to money and their children?
So the first thing is that their lack of willingness to talk about it basically means that they pass on all of their money habits. So whatever they do,
money fears.
The child is actually just acclimating themselves to the same behavior. Then you can't break the cycle. There's not that 10-year-old Melody saying, I don't want to do this.
Yes.
So you can't expect a child to do that. That's number one, that in not dealing with money, they are de facto teaching their children everything that they do. So if you pay the minimum payment, your child's going to do that. If you overspend, your child will spend. These are things that we know for sure.
Baby step 1, save $1,000. Baby step 2, get out of debt, everything but your house using the debt snowball. Baby step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses for a fully funded emergency fund. Baby step 4, invest 15% of your household income into retirement. Baby step 5, start saving for kids' college. Baby step 6, pay off your house. Baby step 7, nothing left to do now, but become very wealthy and outrageously generous. We're going to revisit this framework throughout the day. This is the plan that 10 million people have used to get straightened up.